If women are paying attention, they will realize men are walking away. They're not approaching, they're not wanting to get married like they did in the past. It's been a huge shift, like never before, probably in history. It takes a lot to push men to that point. A lot. And somehow there are still some men out there that want to try to find a good woman, right? There are other men that have gone through it all and they're done, but their head is still spinning of like, what the heck was that? And was there anything I could have done to make it better? I'll stop you right there. Probably not. Probably don't blame yourself too much. I know society wants to do that, and generally speaking, women want to do that. It doesn't make it so. Today, I'm going to show you some women. I'm going to translate for the ones that need women-splaining, and show you where there are absolute vetoes. Do not proceed. And there are some that if I had a brother or someone that I felt like they really shouldn't be alone, they can't handle it, whatever, I might say, okay, proceed with caution with some of these. You guys will be amazed, even if you're not looking for a relationship and you're done, but you will be amazed, I think, to see some of these women because they're starting to have some empathy for men in a way that I have not seen it in Gen X. Probably not the boomers either, because they expected a lot from those men and used them pretty much as workhorses. I didn't think so. Believe me, the whole idolizing the 50s thing, don't. Because the men were work mules. But anyways, Gen X, millennials, you didn't see any of this. You never saw any women in those age groups saying, yeah, I'm not really a feminist. That was something you just could not say. But this younger generation, blue hair and septum rings aside, there are some women that somehow have gained some empathy for men and learned. So we're going to see that today. We're going to look into it. I'm going to dissect it. Welcome back to Far From Eden. All right. This first one, she's interesting. She has gotten divorced and she's going to tell us all about how she's not sorry. She's happy. And if you believe her, I've got a bridge to sell you.
Divorce chat. Am I happy that my marriage ended overall? Like, is that something that somebody wants? No, never. But can I say that I tried my hardest to make my marriage work?
Can I say you probably didn't? And we're going to see some women later that I bet you didn't do the things that they are saying. Again, generationally, a bit different. She comes in saying, when a divorce happened. Don't you love that distancing language? Where's the accountability? Once again, hang with me because we're going to juxtapose this lady, she is just very common. Let's just say, like, this is not an anomaly in any way. But I want to put her here so that when we go to the next one, you go, wow, they're learning. And maybe they've learned because they've seen how their mothers have acted. I mean, that's partially what I learned from.
Yes. And I think now looking back on it, my kids can see that too. And I also think that...
Yeah, because you brainwashed them to see it.
All of us, my ex, hopefully, and my kids can see that like we were just not a compatible couple.
$100 says your ex does not think that. $100 says your ex feels like you blew up the whole marriage selfishly. What do I know?
Great parents together, but we just weren't a good couple together. So
what does that even mean? Great parents together, not a good couple together, not compatible? That's stupid. That's stupid. That is not a reason to break a family, lady, and I think you know it. I think you know it. That's why you have to get on here on social media, and the lady doth protest too much, methinks. Keep telling us why your decision to break up your family was such a good one. Go on, tell us.
I have really, truly enjoyed my time being single.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what it's all about. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. She's enjoyed her time being single. She's enjoyed it. Therefore, oh, well, I mean, that's totally worth it. Hey, kids, I know you only had your mom in one house and your dad in another, but you have to understand your mom has enjoyed herself.
I have loved being able to just do whatever I want without having to answer to anyone. There are huge moments though of loneliness that I feel when my kids are back at school. I have to get off of regular social media with like Facebook and Instagram because I see families, all of our friends that were families.
Yeah. The ones who didn't do what you did, right? The ones that didn't break up their family.
I always joke that like the divorce rate is 50-50, and I did all of our friends a favor because all of them have been married 20 plus years. We were all married 20 plus years, and we were the only ones that got divorced.
We were the only ones that got divorced. I know, I keep saying it. You were the only one that was selfish and left because your own feelings, because you needed to enjoy yourself and you weren't compatible. It's not about your happiness, lady. It's not. It's a right and a wrong, and you chose wrong. I can't wait to see the ladies that are coming up because I need it as an antidote.
Like, you guys, just helping you guys out with the statistics. But anyway, it's hard for me to get on social media and see them doing all of these family things that I am lamenting not being able to do. I think about, okay, if I was still in my marriage, would I want to be doing those things with him? And the truth is I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been happy.
Oh, you wouldn't have been happy. I'm sorry. Are you not smart enough to figure it out? To figure out why you wouldn't be happy? Did you ever think maybe you should have slept with him more? I have heard of women who they were lacking that connection, so they were just like, okay, we're gonna sleep together like every night. And then it suddenly magically, look at that. Were you prioritizing your work too much? What did you do? Or did we not think about that at all? Did we just, oh, we're not compatible, I'm not happy, bye? You know what? Your friends didn't do that. Do you think they just had hunky-dory, happy marriages that there were never a problem and they never felt disconnected? Do you think that? No, that's not the case. The people who stay together because they made the decision to stay together. Period.
I'm happy now. I feel hope and joy for my future.
I don't think so. You shouldn't.
Me and my marriage did not, and that had nothing to do with him. I want to say that. That had nothing to do with him.
We know.
I was lacking in confidence. I was lacking in self-esteem. I didn't know how to stand up for myself.
All stuff probably from therapy.
But I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I'm just having this really hard time right now seeing all of these families going to their tailgates with their families and
Yep.
colleges and stuff. And
Yep.
just like, I miss that.
Do you ever think your kids and husband might too? Did you ever think that? After saying, oh, I think that they would think that it was a good thing too. Really? I think you think that, or you're saying that to make yourself feel better, to assuage your guilt. Lady, the future does not look, I don't think you're going to like what's coming up in the future. You should have really worked on your marriage. And in doing that, you know what that means? Work on yourself.
Where I want that, but I don't think I would have wanted it with him. I don't know. I'm just in my feels today. So, yeah. So, even if on social media everything looks great and happy and I am thriving and I am loving my life, there are still huge, huge moments of loneliness and sadness.
When you're loving your life, that's because you are indulging in all of those empty things that do not keep you warm at night, lady. They just don't. All right, thank God. Let's look at one of the other ladies that you're like, oh, there's some type of hope in this world. It's not all evil. Now, I never said that these other ladies were perfect. This one's a bit brash, but listen to her thought process. I thought she was one of the better ones to start with as far as the ones that are getting it. Because some women are getting it. Not nearly enough, but some women are.
And this is exactly what it is. It is open-mindedness. I took the time because I wanted to and because it's my...
Okay.
And this is exactly what it is.
That's the
It is
thing.
open-mindedness. I took the time because I wanted to and because it's my job to talk about mental health, and I wanted to be educated on what it was that I was talking about. I had spent the last 5 years talking about women's mental health because that's the only type that I've experienced, and never actually took the time to look into these little things. The fact that it's as impossible as it is to find a healthy quote for men when they're feeling sad, it is the little things that add up. And everyone wants to come and be like, oh, you're a pick-me girl if you're in support of men at all. But some of these women fail to realize, listen, ladies, I get picked by men I don't want to get fucking picked by. I don't struggle in that department. And that's not me trying to sound like an egotistical asshole.
I know that sounds rude, but that's the way to handle those women. That's not a jab at men. That's a way to handle those women. When you get called pick me, you say, look, hey, I don't have a problem in that department. Do you? We have ways that we need to shut those women down. And they're we're the only ones who can do it. That's why I'm adamant about showing the differences in the women, because this lovely young lady might not be all the way there, but she's on her way if she keeps looking this direction. I'd love to ask her, hey, what made you decide to look at it from a man's point of view?
That's just real. But after I went on this deep dive of all of these little things that started adding up to me, I was like, this is fucking heartbreaking. Like, this is so sad. I am sad. And although I don't choose it every time, I know that if I made a call to one of my friends as a woman, someone would listen to me. Someone would want to hear what's going on in my life. And although maybe I don't choose that option every time, because we all have this little part of our ego that feels like we're too tough to ask for help. We all feel that. But we as women, whether you want to face the facts or not, we do not have the societal expectation to handle it ourselves.
Yeah, men do. And then you get shamed then. How come you don't show your feelings? Because either way, it's wrong.
So yes, we all do need to be more open-minded and understand that we were all born as little innocent babies.
She's subtly calling on the women to be more open-minded, to try to look at it from a man's point of view. Now, why is she not just saying it the way I said it? Because she understands the crowd she's speaking to. There are just certain ways that you have to get through to the women. And sometimes you have to sort of gently lead them so their brain doesn't get triggered by all of that propaganda and brainwashing, like, oh my God, oh, he's abusive, I'm going to be trapped in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. No, let's start with empathy for men. Let's start with looking at it through his eyes and understand that his reality on this planet is not the same as ours. It's just not. And there's nothing anybody can do to make it so.
We didn't know any better but to be loving. We all got kicked down so many times that we started to learn these defense mechanisms to protect ourselves. So that's just something to think about when you walk throughout the world. Is everyone has their own defense mechanisms. Everyone has their ways of coping with things, and they are all different. But we all need to try and be a little bit more understanding. And so this is definitely something I want to start talking about more on here, because I didn't understand the gravity and magnitude of the issue of all of these small little things that add up to just be one big fucking mess of a problem. And women, if you have anything to say against me just trying to love everybody, I'm just gonna tell you to fuck right off.
See how gentle she was? Women, if you have anything to say about me trying to be understanding to men, she couldn't even say to men, for men. But I love, even though it's a bit crass, I get it, but I love how she's like, you can just get out of here. Good. This is the way that we need to stand up for men, not to men, for men. Like this. All right, on to the next one. Stay with me. I promise, after this one, there's an even better one than this last kind of crass, but starting to understand that, hey, we need to look at this a different way and understand men. And anyway, yeah. It's so good to shame these women, this woman I'm about to show you and the one before, notice similar age group. Shame those women and celebrate the other ones, even for the small steps of noticing what it's like to be a man in this world. Noticing that it's difficult and appreciating them. Okay, I'm just stalling now. It's only a couple minutes. We can get through it, but I can shame her.
It's not a male loneliness epidemic. It is an epidemic of undateable men. Click on the comment, go to his video, watch the whole thing. I'm going to add some text. The amount of men that have come into my comment section and they're just like, well, we've chosen not to date. We want to be single and at peace is alarming. And it's alarming because this isn't necessarily solidly a dating epidemic or a dating issue. This is an issue with just men in society in general.
Yeah. I wonder why. Just incapable. Now, this is a woman that I don't think I could wake up. I don't think that I can convince this woman that men are human. This is when I'd be like, all right, go in peace, my love.
Because men in general need to have emotional intelligence. They need to have emotional permanency. They need to have the social capabilities of being in relationships that are not solidly just like romantic relationships. They need to learn the skills to be in relationships with friends, families, coworkers, people in general. And
They do. They have. What are you talking about? You want everyone to obey you and do the things that you want them to do. And it sounds like you're one of those women that wants men to act like a woman and then probably gets mad at them when they do to try to please you. Bet you're divorced. Just a guess.
choosing to not learn those skills. And while society may not have taught them in the best way possible, guess what? You have a choice. And you keep choosing to not want to grow within yourself if you are that type of a guy. And
you keep choosing to talk down to men and be prickly prickly. Like, does she understand how utterly abrasive this? She's out there saying that there's a problem with men. She's out there saying that it's a dating problem because men don't want to date this and that and the other. If this is what's out there, furthermore, you're old. What are you expecting? I'm guessing by how you look is that you're approaching middle age. What kind of dating life are you expecting? You know you're a walking red flag for men, right? Good Lord.
It's harmful to society because you have taken your hurt and your pain from prior relationships, and maybe your mom, maybe your dad. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can go into this.
Projection.
And you're projecting it and deflecting it onto women in general.
What? You're projecting. Don't try to Uno reverse this. You are projecting. Lord, you look, you're gonna die alone. What? Talking about maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your father. Have you explored that in yourself? I see a completely different reality than this woman right here. But I understand. I was never like her. Good Lord, no. But I understand why she thinks the way she thinks. She has drunk that Kool-Aid right up. You know that man-hating Kool-Aid? Yeah. And that nothing's your fault, is it? This is all the men's problem. The reason the men don't want to date is the men's problem, I guess. It's men are really getting sick and tired of hearing that everything is their fault. If you want to know why there is a high rate of self-deletion with men, it's this kind of baloney. Blaming everything on men when you wouldn't have a car to drive. You wouldn't have gas to put in your car. You wouldn't have electricity. You wouldn't have the phone that you're recording this on. You would have diddly squat without men. And you have the nerve to sit there and bash them and tell them all the things that are wrong. You don't have one inkling of appreciation inside of you. And it is disgusting. Okay, let's continue.
Not just those who you think you want to date or you don't want to date or whatever that commentary is. The woman in the Starbucks line or the barista, the person at the cash register, all of these women, you are projecting your hurt and your pain with. And a lot of times too, what you're doing is you're masking it anyways.
They're not projecting. The men are not projecting their hurt. They've discovered a pattern. Pattern recognition is not something that we generally excel at. Therefore, we don't even realize that other people are noticing pattern recognition. The men have recognized the pattern. The pattern is us. Treating them like garbage. The pattern is us. Demanding, not appreciating, blaming, not taking accountability. The pattern is the problem. He's not doing what we do, where we date a bunch of guys that are the small majority. Small majority, that's not right. Small minority of men who can date and, have their pick or whatever. And therefore, maybe they're not relationship minded, whatever. And we get treated badly, get in situationships, whatever. And then we blame every man. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's not what the men are doing. The men have recognized a pattern, and it took them generations to do it. They gave us so much slack. This has been going on all of the 20th century, progressing. I can't even speak. I'm so mad. It has been chipping away at them and chipping away at them, taking, from the 50s, from when the men were building the Hoover Dam and the Panama Canal and all of this society and infrastructure and industrialization that we enjoy, all of these comforts that we enjoy. We were taking and taking and taking. All the while, women's lives were getting easier. Dishwasher, washing machine, microwave, grocery stores, restaurants. These things are fairly new in history. Women do not realize this. Women's lives were getting easier and easier. And all the while, we were taking and taking and taking from men, saying, oh, you guys oppressed us. Really? Did the men in the coal mines oppress us? What? The nerve of this woman is off the charts.
Trying to be nice, but at the same time, you're trying to be demeaning. So it's not just the fact that you are undateable because you haven't grown to become an adult human. You don't know how to cook. Like mac and cheese and hot dogs and Del Taco every night of the week is not cooking and it's not healthy for you.
Don't know how to cook. Sweetheart, they aren't the ones who are undateable. If you're looking for a man because how he can cook, I think you're a lesbian.
You're not looking inward at yourself and saying, hey, how can I be healthier? You're sitting on your ass, you're playing video games all day, or you're watching porn, or you're doing all of these things that are negative to your mental state. And then you're turning around and you're getting on women's pages on social media, or you're talking to women in public, and you're showcasing how little work you have done on yourself and how little you've been able to grow with society.
These are men, the men she's talking about had little, had little. Generally speaking, the men she's talking about have given up. Do you understand? You don't understand. You might as well push them over the cliff. Can you imagine if this was widely accepted to talk about women like this? No, we can't imagine that because that would never, ever, ever happen. I think thank God, are we at the end? Just about.
That is the bigger issue. It is not just about romantic relationships. It is about men in general who have failed to move and evolve into what society needs now.
Yeah, well, maybe if they had fathers in their lives, if their fathers hadn't been emasculated, if the parenting hadn't been so, I don't know, gynocentric, maybe things would be better. Maybe mothers can't really bring a boy into manhood and explain to him how the world is, etc., and how to deal with us and what to not put up with. Boy, that's been a long time since any of that happened. I need the next one so I can cool off because that lady, I know I did it to myself. I'm the one that chose the TikTok, but I chose it to remind us all. Not that you guys need a reminder what they're like. So we can juxtapose and show how some women have really come along. Okay. So that lady that we just watched, she's talking about men don't know how to be in society and it's not just the romantic relationship, blah, 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 blah. That men just don't know how to communicate. Well, this young lady, bless her heart, in the good way, not in the secret, F you way. Bless your heart, young lady. You have realized men's brains think differently. So whereas the last woman was like, this is how you should be and this is how you should act and you're not emotionally intelligent, blah, blah, blah. This young lady has figured out that men's brains do something different than want to deal with your issues. This also goes hand in hand with yesterday's video reacting to John Griffin about how we have so much drama and how to respond to it. If us with our drama could think like this chick, how much better the world would be.
100% of good men are built to solve problems. So he is more concerned about finding a solution than talking to you about the problem.
This is a huge thing in relationships because women will be like, I don't want it. How come you're solving the problem? Blah, blah. And they get mad at the man because his mind is thinking, okay, well, you're upset. I want to make it better for you. Therefore, I'm trying to help. And what do? We crap all over it. Like, imagine he's over there, he's trying to help, right? He's using his man brain the way he's intended to, and he's trying to help. And we smack that down. That is so hurtful. This lady, I like where she's going. I think I've got hope for this one for the future.
Because talking about the problem that is stressing him out at work, in his businesses, whatever, that is very close to complaining. And he doesn't want to waste time and energy complaining when he can waste time and energy solving the issue.
Waste time and energy solving the issue. Adorable.
So you should be grateful that he's not unloading his stress onto you, because he knows how to solve problems better than you. And so he's resolving your issues while also resolving his own issues, and at the same time dealing with the stress. So be grateful, understand that this is how he manages stress, and after he resolves the issues, he will discuss with you what was stressing him out. If he happens to just mention what is stressing him out, that's because he's probably trying to keep you in the loop, but he's not trying to give you the full-blown breakdown, because that takes a whole PowerPoint presentation, and he don't have that kind of time. And then on top of that, it's just going to stress him even more, because now he's thinking more about the problem, and now you're going to give him these fake solutions that are not going to work.
Yeah, and then he's worried about you and how you're going to deal with the problem. Like, that just makes it worse for him. So this last lady, like, oh, I just need to do this with his emotions and stuff. Actually, they do a better job. Y'all do a better job because you're actually going to fix something. I know, you're like, yeah, that's what we've been trying to tell you. I don't know if this chick had a good relationship with her father or brothers or what, but I want her to keep spreading this information to other women. This is how we get to where we appreciate men. We need to get it in our heads that we don't understand you guys at all. Not at all. This is the type of information that women need to be sharing with other women so that we can appreciate men and see them. Therefore, empathize with them.
Because he's already thought about that. So allow him to deal with the stress how he's dealing with, and be grateful that he's thinking about you still, even while he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with.
Yep. And they do. Men do. All right, I'm not going to show you any of the horrible ones. We will have a grand finale and see a lovely lady that also gives me hope. I'm not giving the green flag to go sign a government contract. Just make sure. I'm never saying that. I wish that I could sit the two ladies down that we watched earlier. The first one's divorced. The second one, I would bet she's divorced. I wish I could just sit them down and force them to watch this.
Most women might not even realize that they're pushing their man away until it's too late, until he's gone. Here's how you notice. It's not always cheating that drives men out. It's disrespect, constant negativity, emasculinizing him, belittling him, and making him feel like no matter what he does, it's never enough. When men feel drained instead of inspired, they don't explode. They retreat. They stop opening up. They stop putting in effort. They stop fighting for the relationship. And then the women play the victim, acting blindsided when he finally leaves. But the truth is,
but a lot of times they don't leave. Many times they don't leave. They just kind of retreat. And then, remember the lady from before? And then the woman will be like, well, we're just not compatible anymore. Well, I'm just not happy. Maybe you've done the things that this young lady is saying. Therefore, you've run him off inside the relationship, because so many men do not leave. Because what are they going to do? Give up their kids and only see their kids every other weekend? Give up half their stuff? No. So they're, they've left, but inside the relationship because you've run them off.
Because you created an environment where he couldn't thrive, where his presence felt like a burden instead of a blessing. And men will not stay where they feel unvalued, unseen, unappreciated. So if your man is pulling away, stop pointing the finger at him and look in the mirror. You might be the reason. Respect him, admire him, build him up instead of tearing him down, because the moment he realizes peace exists without you, he'll never come back.
Yeah. And he'll be like gone all day, or he'll just stop engaging with you altogether. And then, you won't realize it's your fault. And then you'll just go, I'm not happy. He doesn't care about me. It's da 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 da. And never realizing, did I push you away? What can I do? I want us to be close again. Try that. None of this. Well, I tried everything to stay. I don't think so. I don't buy it.
And that's a hard truth most women don't want to hear. Most women.
No, they don't. No, they don't. So I hope that more and more women find my channel so we can all learn together. Because it's possible to wake us up. It is, but it has to be done in the right way, depending on who it is. And there are some women we cannot wake up, like that woman from earlier. I don't think that I could ever get her to see the truth, but it's like the Matrix. Not everybody can be woken up. But hopefully there's enough of us women on here showing empathy for men, compassion for men, appreciation for men, and accountability for us. I'm really hoping we can get at least a little bit of a tide turning. So there are at least more women out there that are good women, and it becomes more obvious which ones of us those are. That's my goal. I'm incredibly toxically optimistic in life generally. So I get it. I get how it sounds. But at least I can womansplain in the meantime. So, as always, protect your peace. Feed your souls. I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.